What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Inside 11. Right now, man, we're talking about the devil is the dealer of fucking desires. You better believe it. And where did the devil come from? He's just an aspect of you. He's your homeboy. Yep, you might be like, nah, brother, I don't like the devil. But no, 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 no. You invite the devil over to hang out with you. So if you want to get rid of the devil, you can't be, you can't allow yourself to play with your desires. You can't allow yourself to play with your demons. Because when your demons, when they come, your demons are a collection of separate units. When they come together, when they conjoin and create a bigger body, as far as them creating some type of parasitical mental creature, they become the devil. Ooh, that big desire that you don't want to deal with. Oh my goodness. The devil is actually extremely easy to handle because the devil is just an aspect of yourself. See, a lot of people don't want to be honest with themselves. A lot of people don't want to keep it truthful. A lot of people don't want to keep it real within themselves. A lot of people just want to lie to themselves about what goes on in your life. Now, that's going to be your personal choice today. But after watching this video, you can't tell me that you didn't receive the information that you need to deal with your internal devil, to deal with your internal desires. The devil is just an aspect of yourself, man. The devil is just a desire that we create. You know, when you look at the devil card in tarot, the devil appears as this big figure, red-bodied, big horn, tailed, but what I find very interesting about the depiction of it is that there's two humans, a feminine and a masculine, so representing the left brain and the right brain. And in those depiction, it shows you that the chains, that these two men and women were never chained, meaning that your left brain and your right brain were never chained to the desire in the first place. Meaning that you basically, or we basically, like to go and hang out with the devil. We like to do the things that we deem as like immorally wrong. Ooh, like this is so bad. I'm such a bad boy. I'm such a bad girl. But see, it's only like that in your mind. It's only like that within your own head, within your own perception, within your own moral system that you formulated and things like that. Because you need to understand that there's people in the world right now that have way worse desires, way worse the devilish thing to do, and they're just using their demons and their devils as a sidekick, as a side chick, as a side character, as a side alter ego personality to assist them with their life and things like that. So you have to learn to channel your internal devil. You have to learn to channel your internal demon. After you cut the devil heads off, you hang it up on the wall, and you use its aspects, its characteristics, attributes, however you need, however you want. Because there's gonna be some moments in life where you're gonna have to be devilish. There's gonna be some moments in life where you're gonna have to be a demon. But you're gonna have to understand how to keep that desire restrained. Now it depends on what kind of devil you got. You might have some next habit that you need to keep to the curb. Okay, we're gonna touch that as well. But see, the thing is, we are very creative with the mind. See how I explained to you earlier how with the man and the woman we're just the representations of the left brain and the right brain? That's right. We're very creative with our mind in terms of how we get back into those desires, those burning fires. And all these things come from where? Our root chakra. So you need to learn to condition your root chakra differently so you don't get lost in these things that are really not helping you. Now, when we look at the root chakra, now I'm gonna get into it in a little bit. I'm getting a little ahead of myself still. But you gotta learn to retake control of your left brain and your right brain, because all we're doing is letting our root chakra go to our head, and we're mixing those two colors of chakras together. So then all we know how to see then is red. Like when someone wants to fight someone, especially when criminals get caught and go to jail, the judge be like, hey man, why did you stab that person 2,100 times, or some crazy numbers like 220 or 30 times? Well, the criminal just says, well, I just blanked out. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, they saw red and it was consumed by their own desire, by their own devil. And that's literally a spirit that's vibrating within a particular space and time that carried out a similar desire. And when you're resonating on that wave, on that frequency, it's going to give you more energy to carry that out, because that might be how that spirit died. That might be something that spirit did, because all these spirits just be floating around dreaming. So we need to learn to recondition our right brain and our left brain, our yang, our yin, which is just basically our ability to speculate on how we're going to get that desire, and our ability to formulate an objective expression about how we're going to get that desire done externally. This is why, when you study the root chakra, you understand that it's made up of two different polarities. There's two different sections of the sky that make it up. The polarity of Scorpio and the polarity of Aries, meaning that Scorpio is the feminine aspect of the root chakra, so it's the internal desire. But it can actually work to your benefit. All these things are not good or bad. You just gotta make it work to your benefit. Make it your bitch. Don't become a spirit or a desire's bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what's really gonna happen if you found that desire, if you're not the one who constructed it, if you're not the one who objectively understands how to go about it, rather than you just blanking out to your darkness, your internal yin, your Scorpio and shit like that. And then you playing it out and expressing it in an extreme manner with your Aries chakra, because it was just the polarity of the root chakra, the other polarity of the root chakra. So you gotta take control of it either way, because your root chakra is a very powerful transmutation circle. It's gonna help you transform a lot of things in your life, both emotionally and both externally. This is why some people might be scared, let's say, to tell their boss, hey boss, can I get like this day off because I have this. Some people literally think, oh, I better not ask the boss that. The boss will not like that if I say that. But it's your life, it's your situation, so you gotta take control of those resources that source and God has already embarked within you, not you letting your resources take control of you. See, this is why we're here on earth, because we're irresponsible creators. We need to learn how to be responsible creators and understand the properties of these energies, these chakras, and use those things to our full advantage and things like that. So you could easily man, there's a bug out here, jeez. Anyways, when you take control of your desire, you got to use your Scorpio chakra. You got to be able to go in and emotionally transform how you see about that, because you are an observer. You can go down, float, all this whole body you're aware of. You don't just see with those eyes. You experience with different things. You experience with your ears, your sense of smell. You experience with your dick when you're fucking. You experience your muscular system when you're working out. You experience your skeletal system when you're working out. You're experiencing your nervous system when you're digesting, when you're thinking and shit like that. Virgos, sometimes they be thinking overly hard, that they get extra nervous and things like that. But those are all different aspects of ourselves, because before this physical vessel, this biological set has even manifested into a body, before that it was a mind. So you need to understand that your bones, your muscular system, which is basically bones, Capricorn, skeletal system, Sagittarius, all these different aspects, and literally everything you have is literally a manifestation of a planetary energy, which basically tells you that it was a mind before we even dropped down and created these third dimensional vessels. Now we got lost in these third dimensional vessels, and now we're trying to figure out how to get out of these dimensional vessels, these third dimensional vessels that we created via the energy aspects of the sky and things like that. But we all create our own version of those things. So how one person deals with their sexual energy is not the same how the other person deals with their sexual energies. This is how you have different people fucking in different ways, because we're all freestyling God, pretty much. We're all channeling God and the devil, and we freestyling both those aspects of the world simultaneously and things like that, and carrying out our own reality. So we all created our own version of the wheel, the cosmic wheel that's going on in the sky. So one person might be a Scorpio, one person might be a Virgo, one person might be a Capricorn, one person might be an Aquarius, and things like that. So we all like to play out these characteristics in different ways. So, but we all have all these aspects, but we just like to play them out differently. So we got to be able to deplete basically the devil. You need to be able to, instead of charging him whenever you want, you got to be able to, whenever he wants to. You can't charge him whenever he wants to. You got to decide on your own. So you got to be able to deplete your desire simultaneously while you create the life that you are looking for simultaneously, because it's going to be this back and forth where your mind is going to try to pull you back into that desire. It's going to try to pull you back. It's going to be like, hey man, come do this. Hey man, come do that. Oh yeah man, here's a new objective way about going to do that same desire, but we're going to make it look creatively different with our right brain, because again, the mind is very creative. Imagine if you were to harness the power of your mind for the sake of your success, for the sake of your benefits, for the sake of your abundance, for the sake of your prosperity, for the sake of your peace, because your mind will literally come up with a way to do that if you just put your mind in that direction and actually deplete the things that you don't need. Now, I'm not saying you don't want to get rid of your desires. You just want to deplete them a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't become this thing that's always in front of your eyes, where it's the only chakra, it's the only color of light that you can see. So you can actually start to do more important things, because fucking is important. You better love you some fucking, because that's how you fucking transform some shit. That's positive and negative rubbing against each other and shit like that. That's literally you being able to create a whole new body. That's you being able to go through the fucking gate, through the temple mound and shit like that, and that's very powerful for manifesting as well. But if you get lost in your desires, and it could be a lot of desires, you know what I'm saying? You might have the desire of violence, like me, for example. You might really just want to feel like you want to beat somebody up. You know, when I was younger, I would fight a lot because I had a desire to fight, and it's all I would see. I would just see red. But then when I get out of it, I'm like, oh shit, why the fuck did I do that? Oh shit, why did I say that? Yeah, because all I saw was red and things like that. So your whole, so we gotta understand, your whole body is communicating with you. Literally the cells inside of you, the organs inside of you, all those are just like individual spirits, but you are the overall spirit, you know, running this property as the shape and as the authority figure of that, you know, realm. So you gotta be that. You can't let your internal actors, your chakras, get out of control and run you instead. You gotta have the mental capacity and the mental capability to run those and let them know, hey, you gotta do this, hey, you gotta do that, and they all got a role already and they know it. But sometimes, based on how much we goof around and how much we let go of our responsibilities and how much we let go of our duties, our tasks, and our disciplines and things like that, you know, I'm not when I say discipline, I don't mean a big Quran book or a big Bible book. Here you go, praise the Lord Jesus Christ. No, when I say that, I mean you gotta understand your purpose, your design, your path, your destiny, because God already gave you one, you know. But you gotta understand how to go about that, and trust me, everybody knows their destiny, everybody knows their purpose, everybody knows what they're supposed to do in life inherently. But sometimes we have a hard time attaching to it based on just looking at how the shadow government, you know, ways of doing it was put in front of us, the representations of it. We might be like, oh, instead of you being a political leader at your neighborhood, just come work at the UN. And you might be like, oh shit, yeah, okay, that's what I gotta do. So don't let someone else's representation of these energies get you off of your path, your goal, and things like that. You got to be able to literally willingly attach and detach on will, meaning that you can't let anything consume you. You kind of got to be the one consuming things. You know what I'm saying? You got to be the one with the ability to pay attention to yourself, your energetical currents, your means of expression, your chakras, and detach from those things on command. But really, all these things are working together simultaneously anyways, because all these dimensions collapse to work together simultaneously. Like the gut is a dimension to the cells living there, that's a whole world. In your head, that's a whole world to the cells living there. To your muscular system, that's a whole world for them to be living there, and things like that. So all these things work together simultaneously, and we got to direct those things simultaneously. But sometimes we have to go in and disintegrate certain aspects that we get attached to a chakra, because one chakra sometimes be taking over the other chakras and telling them, hey, use your resources for this, hey, use your resources for that. And you can have that, you can have your own chakras rebelling against you, and you being the observer, having your mind, having your spirit be overweighed by you know, a form that accelerates a wave of consciousness that is not headed towards the direction of your purpose. Because sometimes we might even lead ourselves to a path that fucks us over and things like that. So all these things are working together simultaneously. But if you're able to direct your mind towards a particular end, a purpose, a definite chief aim, like Napoleon Hill says, you're gonna find that all your spirit is gonna use all its available resources. It's sacral chakra, it's Mercury chakra, it's you know, crown chakra, it's root chakra, for that particular purpose, for that particular ends. And I'm not saying you can't fuck. No, you should be fucking. But at the end of the day, you gotta do that in a healthy way and not do that in an unhealthy way. You know what I'm saying? You might be like a sex addict. You might think that's all there is to life, just fucking. But there's more to that. There's more to life than just fucking. You might think that, you know, life is just all about communication. Oh, if I say this, if I talk like this, if I say this, then that's gonna get fulfilled. No. Sometimes communication has to have some emotion behind it, so people know how you feel about something. See, this is why sometimes we just get lost in those energies based on whatever polarity you pick. But at the same time, you gotta know how to incorporate other aspects of the universe, so you can kind of be complete almost. Not that you have to, but that's kind of like another level at the sorcerer wizard game and things like that. Because we're all wizards, we're all sorcerers, we're all magicians and things like that. But sometimes we may not understand how to use the concept of the creation around us. Sometimes we get lost in us thinking that we are the creation, thinking that we are these thoughts and feelings, thinking that we are those situations. So let's say if a teacher in class says, nigga, you dumb, you might think that that situation is the real and applies to you, but that's just a manifestation of your lack of application, basically. Because you should really apply yourself, so motherfuckers see like, damn, this person is smart. Not for them, you're doing it for you at the end of the day. You want to manifest the best result. You want to manifest the best life. You want to manifest prosperity. You want to manifest health, wealth, wisdom, and a great relationship with yourself. And you can't do that if you're stuck hanging out with the devil and a bunch of demons that you don't know how to get out of. So that's the goal of this video. The goal of this video is to help you realize, okay, well, Brother 11 said, I need to start something while I simultaneously deplete my desire so I can start that new path. And now your mind is going to use its resources by you paying attention to that new path. Your mind is going to create circumstances and situations so you can go about that new path. So it's what you're going to find yourself doing every day, like me, posting a video every day, doing some esoteric, occult-based drawings and things like that. So you got to use your mind for that. And that's going to start building up your confidence even, because you're going to be like, damn, okay, your brain is going to register that. It's going to be, well, he's accomplishing his tasks every day. He's doing this and this and that. So he's a competent person. And then, bing, that's going to be a new character, a new trait. That's like you being an anime character. You just training at the Jujutsu high school, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all watch that Jujutsu Kaisen and shit like that. And now, you're increasing your combat abilities, you're increasing your agility abilities before you eat. And then next thing you start using your innate techniques and shit like that. You start finding out about your bloodline, you start finding out what God gave you, and you start to use your soul force, your spirit force, accordingly to how God gave it to you, how God designed it to you. Because the energies that you have, the combination of the energies, the esoteric keys that you have, these planetary energies, it is differently formulated from how everyone else has them. So we all have access to an innate technique, and we're already doing it, but we're just not aware of it. But that's the thing. If you have a devil on your shoulder that you can't get a control of, then you're gonna use your innate technique for its desires, for its goals, for its means and things like that. And you don't want to be you. And if you're getting used, by your own desires, then damn, God have mercy on you. You should have mercy on you, because that means you're probably getting used by other people, placing things outside of you for their desires. Because what's happening inside of you is exactly what's happening outside of you. So don't let yourself be one of those people, man. Get a hold of your situation, control yourself, deplete it, and be able to take your attention onto a new goal, new mission, a new purpose. Love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all on the next video. You better fucking believe it. Real shit.